Shribbit.
Hello everyone, I'm Shribbit. Today I'm animating a scene from the webcomic My Next Door Neighbors by Love2DrawManga. This is a scene from Season 3, Chapter 12. The whole comic is available on YouTube to watch. Without further ado, let's get started. I'm using Clip Studio Paint X, the most up-to-date version of it. So you'll see on the side here, I have some screenshots from the comic. I really wanted to animate this scene in particular. It just had such a magical shot, the one I showed you at the start there with the beautiful head turn. Once I saw that panel, I knew it would be so fun to animate. But anyway, right now I'm working on the storyboards for my animation. It's not going to be exactly the same as the webcomic. I find that, at least personally, when I'm adapting something like this, I sometimes have to make changes for my work to be a little more smooth in video form. That might just be my own personal weakness though. I did sort of forego that walking bit that Chase is doing. Oh, I should tell you, these characters are named Doris and Chase. But yeah, so I definitely took a little bit of shortcuts. Mostly my focus was on that head turn. I really loved the scene, but I didn't want to spend entirely too much time on it. I was way too excited to finish anyway. Before I get too much further, I'll tell you the dimensions of the canvas right now, including the animation template. The width is 2,820 pixels by 1,992 pixels. The actual dimensions that the animation itself is going to be at the end would be 1920 by 1080 pixels, which is basically the very standard widescreen dimensions. But for actually animating, it's good to have a little bit more of the canvas visible, just so that if you want to do any camera zooming, that will be a bit easier for you. If you're a regular follower of mine, you know that I don't always use the animation template, but I really wanted to do the best job I could this time, considering it's a fan art for Love2DrawManga. I've been a big fan for a long time, so I just really wanted to make it good. I even make sure to do the colored line art for where I'm going to have the shading and highlights, which again, I don't always do that, but I admit, since I've been practicing doing that lately, it has been making things go a little smoother. I just don't always do that because in the moment when I'm working on it, it feels like too much work or like that I'm feeling lazy and don't end up doing it. But anyway, so you can see throughout all of this so far that I'm clearly trying to emulate the style of the webcomic as best as I can. What I should have done is I should have made like character sheet turnarounds for both of the characters so that I could have a better reference for myself. But I was just too excited to start, so I just completely worked off of the screenshots from the actual comic. If I had prepared myself by making some of the character turnarounds, it probably would have been a little better for me, but again, I don't know, I was just excited. Oh, I should tell you, when I do show you what I make at the end, there is actually voice acting. It's my voice and my friend Riptide's voice. It's only a couple lines, but I really feel like it helps. Makes the scene feel more complete to actually have voice acting. I wasn't sure I was going to do it at first. I was thinking maybe I would just only animate it, but when actually watching the comic chapter on YouTube again, I was thinking how that there was, already music picked out for the scene and all this stuff, and I was like, well, if there's already music, I might as well do some audio work for this. So yeah, I do that. Oh, I'll also say that the animation itself took about 7 hours to make, and then the editing and After Effects that I do later, which I didn't record, but the editing I do ended up taking probably about an hour or two, so I'd say this is about maybe 9 hours of work, which I think is pretty good for this. For the most part, the animation is 12 frames per second, although of course in Clip Studio Paint, I have it set as 24 frames per second, I'm just animating it on 2s. For the head turn, it was actually animated on 3s because of how it's supposed to be slow-mo, and the 3s definitely helped with that. I wasn't sure how it was going to look, but I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I mean, you're watching me work on it right now. It's definitely my favorite shot of the whole thing. I absolutely made sure to heighten the effort on this part, and then for the rest of things, I tried not to go too in-depth on it, which if I did, definitely it would have taken way too much time. And I really just wanted to finish this little project and get it out there. To me, when I was reading this, I really felt like this shot in particular was just the most special of them. I mean, Doris is just so cute, and it's definitely a classic shoujo sort of vibe there. Anyway, so the storyboards have been done for a little bit, and I went right to work on the sketches, or, the rough work. I did both the storyboards and the roughs all in one go, but once I start doing like the line art and such, that's when I focus on the different shots themselves. Watching it back now, it does feel pretty good to see. I really loved working on this. It was very fun. It's pretty lucky that my art style just happens to be pretty similar to Love2DrawManga's style, although hers is a little bit more... Actually, I don't know how to describe it. It's cuter? I don't know. I guess I just am glad that I felt pretty good about replicating the style. It's not quite exact, but I think it's pretty good. So when I actually, start up working on the line art, you can see that I'm using vector layers. I always use vector layers when I'm doing like more official line art work. They make things so much easier to edit. And I should say that I'm using a 2-pixel binary brush when I do get to that. And I do that because it makes the coloring steps easier, as well as there is a plugin for After Effects called OLM Smoother, which, smooths out those binary lines, making them look nice for the video. So, I have done a lot of animation work in my day, particularly, like fan animation work. They're always pretty exciting for me to make. I always love making things for other stuff other than my own, which is unfortunate, considering I do have a lot of OCs, but, I always feel like when it's not for me, it's just more exciting to make, and I have more motivation. I've done a lot of animations for the D&D podcast Chosen Ones. I've done a lot of fan animations for like Ruby and Genshin, and a couple more other random things. But to my memory, I don't think I've ever done like a fan interpretation of a scene from something, like making an animated scene from a, comic chapter. It feels pretty exciting. I said before I really wanted to do a good job with this since I'm such a big fan, but also in general, it just feels pretty fun to be able to see somebody's comic but animated. I really love so many of Love2DrawManga's characters, so it's fun to see them move. But I will say it's not the first time. She's actually made a few animations herself, which were really fun for me to watch, considering I'd say I have more of a focus on animation, so whenever a creator that I really enjoy makes a video where they try out animation, I'm always so excited to watch. Either I can learn something or I can just see what kind of fun that the person I like watching has with animation. Since I know how much fun it is, it's always great fun to see other people try it out. Even if you're not like a content creator, I do recommend you try out animation. Other than character design, it's probably my favorite thing in making art. As we get further along, I guess I'll explain a little bit about some of what you're seeing. You can see there's the little blue lines, that's for the shading, and then the red lines are for the highlights. In some stages of the work in progress, I did fill in the highlights and shading. That's when I felt like I could use a bit of that so that my brain can understand what's what. Oh, I will say, for the hair, it's, the shading is colored in with pink, and then everything else is colored in with blue, at least for the work in progress, just so that I can understand what I'm looking at when I'm doing the actual finished animation work. Because sometimes when I'm animating, I find that a lot of these lines are just lines upon lines that I don't really understand, which technically I should be flipping my animation cells a little more often, but it's just not my habit. I really rely on onion scanning. I should get better at doing that. I mean, it's not like I never do, but still. I'll also say, in case you're wondering, that I do separate the eyes from the rest of the animation stuff, because I find eyes tend to be more complex, and when I have the eyes on the same layer as everything else, it makes things pretty difficult to color in when I'm at that stage, and just in general, pretty difficult to follow all those details when I'm trying to do the in-betweens and work and stuff like that. So if I isolate the eyes, I find personally that it helps me focus on them when it comes to them, and then when it comes to the rest, I can just take the eyes away and color, the skin and hair underneath it without having to go through and color all these little tiny spots that the eyes end up making with, because there's the details with the eyelashes and all this stuff. I just find it's way more simple to separate them. I don't know if I'd recommend you doing that. Basically, you should just keep in mind where they are and keep in mind that they are separate. And sometimes when you move around your frames, if you forget that the eyes are separate, then things can get really messed up. So just be aware, I guess. So as we come to the latter end of this speed paint, I am going to talk a little bit about, what I enjoy about Love to Draw Manga. I'm a little nervous. Actually, I'm very nervous, but I know that she's very nice. I know that, nothing bad would come of this. Unless she wanted me to take this down, then I would. But to my understanding, she allows fan art and everything. So I'm pretty excited for her to see. But yeah, so I mentioned earlier that I've been following her for a long time. Definitely, I'd say back in 2018. I found that her work was very relatable to me in particular. We're about the same age. We like pretty similar types of manga. I definitely like shonen more than she does, but still, I do really love shoujo. And there's something just so charming and lovely about her characters and everything being inspired by the shoujo manga that we both kind of grew up consuming. So her content is very just comforting, I guess, to me. I realize that a lot of this is going to sound a little parasocial, but, I understand that. Of course, I am just a fan. But yeah, I do find her general work very relatable. I feel as if we've both been creating content online for about the same amount of time, so we've gone through a lot of the different internet eras in tandem, I guess. I mean, I've been creating YouTube content since I was 13. Back in the day, yeah, I used to make animation memes way back then, and, other such videos, speed paints and everything. And I know she's also been making, art tutorials for a pretty long time, about the same amount of time. And I just, in general, really love all her videos. They're all very entertaining to me. I love art videos like that. Just trying out fun things. I loved that series where she drew herself in the different video games and other animes and content that she likes. It's very inspiring in general, because, she also tries out a lot of stuff too. She tries out different animation things. I actually learned how to do, a couple things in After Effects, and I'm sure there's plenty other things I learned from her. I mean, definitely I learned the usefulness of the symmetry tool. I use that all the time, especially in character design. And speaking of character design, I absolutely love the videos that she does where she creates characters or just in general draws her OCs. I'll say some of my favorite characters of hers are Sullivan and Chip. I love Chip. He is a wonderful character. I know that there is not that much to him. I know he was made in a video. He's with Silva and all this stuff, which I also love that. But yeah, I really love those two characters. I've actually commented that before a few times. I always appreciate her drawing her OCs again, or doing a compilation. There was recently a video where she compiled a bunch of her OCs that she had made in videos. And then she also did a character tier ranking video where she ranked her OCs. I love that video. I should watch that one again. But yeah, whenever both of them are in the same video, I'm like, oh, those two are my favorites. But I love a lot of the characters. I love Rayla and Alfred and just so many of them. Oh, Pariah. Pariah's cute. I love her hair and her glasses. I don't know. She's very cute design. Oh, and I should mention Silva again. She was also made in a video, and I really like how her design turned out. But basically, all of this to say, I am a big fan, and I have been for a long time, and I just really wanted to make a gift to sort of input all my appreciation into. She's done a lot, not just fun content to watch, but also it's nice to see someone who clearly loves creating so much, and in a way that is very similar to me. It's just nice to see. Just seeing someone following her dreams of creating content all these years, it's just nice. And I will say, I know that times have been tough, just in general, for creating, for artists, for her personally, and I just want to say really fast that despite everything, you are still you. Despite how art and animation and creativity in general is really struggling online and how things have changed so much since people like us have started online. Despite everything, you are still you. You still have made great content all this time, and you still have people who appreciate that and love to watch. And I know it's hard sometimes, but when you are able to continue, it is always a joy to see. And I'm saying this because I absolutely feel like it's something that a lot of artists need to hear, especially right now. So I sincerely appreciate that you have been being true to your creativity all this time and doing your best despite the hardships of everything, personal and non-personal. And you should be proud. You should be proud of everything that you've been able to do. And I'm not gonna, continue on too much with that, but to everyone watching, those who are creative and struggling and everything, I believe that staying true to yourself and your creativity is the best thing you can do for yourself. And even if I don't know you, thank you for making whatever you make, because the world is better for it. But I'm not going to dwell too much further on the, sappiness, emotional bit, but I just really wanted to say something to that effect of, I just appreciate artists who continue despite everything. But yeah, so the video itself is coming to a close. I really hope you enjoy both Love to Draw Manga. I hope you enjoy what I was able to do, inspired by your comic scene. I do feel as if maybe I made it a little too dramatic, but I think it suits it. Just because of the different zooms I did, I might have overdone it, but I think it was still fun to do. And for those watching, I hope that you enjoyed the speed paint itself. I hope you maybe learned something. I know I'm not that great of a teacher, but at least recording it full screen, hopefully that helped something. And if you end up being inspired to do anything yourselves, I would love to hear about it. But let's watch the scene in full now. First off, I'll share the storyboards themselves. And here is how everything came together in the end.
Hey everyone, sorry I'm late. Long time no see.
He's here.
There we are, the scene done. I am so happy with it, and I'm very excited to be able to share this. Don't forget to go over to Love2DrawManga and subscribe to her, as well as check out her webcomic, My Next Door Neighbors, which is also found on its own YouTube channel. I'll be linking both of them. And if you liked the animation work, then you can go ahead and subscribe to me and let me know what you think. And if the hyping is still available, I would appreciate that as well. I hope you all enjoyed. Happy animating, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
Hey everyone, sorry I'm late. Long time no see.
He's here.